Alright, hello everyone! Welcome back. It's Suze here for another part of 80 Days, part 2, in fact, where we're gonna go on from Moscow and hopefully do some things. So before we leave Moscow, I want to try and go to the market and see what we can get. So we have to wait for 7 a.m. It's really important, guys, that if you're not doing something, like if you're waiting or want to pause the game, you need to hit the little gear in order to stop the clock. It's super important. Let me just say that. Let's get the evening jacket, some oil paints, because we can sell these things. I just hope that we can get on this train that we're going for. Let's depart. We want to go, oh my goodness, we're going this way. Let's go. We can have 3 bags. I missed it. Oh no! You're kidding me. The train left without us. I was just about to click the stupid button. Okay, well, since we have to stay here now, let's explore. I took a few hours to explore, investigating the various options for how we might continue our journey. Let's hotel. We'll pass the night here. Before retiring, I ran a few errands for the hotelier, earning 69 pounds. Yay! Depart! Depart! We have to depart! Don't. Okay, go. Don't argue, just do it. Okay, here we go, guys. On the train from Moscow. We took a freight train towards Tsaritsyn. Through the line was nominally a spur of majestic Trans-Siberian. The track was of much older construction and hardly luxurious, let us say. It was quite an imposition for Monsieur Fogg, a fact which I attempted to temper with solicitousness and care on our journey, though there was little that could be done to shield Monsieur Fogg from the rickety swaying carriage and whistling draught. Oh, our relations with him improved. Let's tend to Mr. Fogg. Alright guys, this train is going like super speeds. By the end of the day, Monsieur Fogg was feeling almost sorry for himself. I could take Monsieur Fogg's difficulties no more. And disappeared to the impromptu restaurant car for a foul, thin borscht and a slurp of late-night vodka. Oh no, we didn't want to do that. Let's take care of Mr. Fogg. Thank you. Your attentions are most beneficial. They better be. They come at a steep price. From Tsaritsyn to Astrakhan, on the border of the Caspian Sea, was a short distance, but the train managed to make a great deal of work out of it, huffing its way along the banks of the Volga. I asked the bartender about journeys from Astrakhan, and he shrugged. The hydrofoil to Tehran is good fun, he declared, though it's crossing that's so rough you'd better be prepared. We arrived in the mid-afternoon and went to explore the town. This is taking us really far south, guys. I don't know if I necessarily want to go south. Explore. Okay, we can't depart, so let's explore. That's taking us back north. The city of Astrakhan sits on the tiptoe of the Russian Bear, where the Volga River empties into the Caspian Sea. I found the people to be most friendly, and I asked their advice on how to continue from the city. A passing cheerful Bangladeshi master suggested the boat to Tehran, and we went on the remark that the rumors of violence around Chittagong were growing worse by the day. And what should I do with my time here, I asked. The response was immediate. You must bathe in river mud. My new friend showed me the small hut by the river where vats of fresh mud were available for soaking in. I could not resist the opportunity to lower myself into a vat of mud. I dressed behind a wicker screen and clambered in. The effect, dear friends, was most refreshing. I decided to try persuading my master to dissolve and threw my clothes back in mud-splattered haste. Mud? I do not think that will be necessary. Thank you, passport, he declared firmly. Alas, there was no moving him. I didn't like that. Right, so let's plan. Oh my goodness, guys. We can't go through Russia. That's the catch. We could always try and go to Urga, but this train is like unbelievably expensive. Like going this way, it would be 140. Going this way, It still departs in 2 days. It seems they're pretty demanding. Let's change it to tomorrow at 8 a.m. We will not miss that train. All right. Oh, the market's still open. Click it! Click it! Oh, game, don't do this to me. Let's see. Valuable in Heret Omask. Part of the Heavy Storm set. Part of the Gentleman Traveler set, which we don't have. Part of the Russian Gentleman Wardrobe set. It won't fit. Let's get this blanket and a hat. Yeah, and this will only sell for 120, 190, 0, 24. We're gonna leave it. Let's go hotel it up. We'll pass the night here. All right, we took a room and settled in, and I ran a few errands for the hotelier, earning £55 in fees and tips. Your funds have gone up somewhat. Depart! Don't miss it, don't miss it, don't miss it. Go! Go! This is gonna really be bad for him. He's not gonna be a happy camper, guys. We'll just tend to him and ask lots of questions. The hydrofoil across the Caspian Sea was a small affair run by one Alexander Sedlov, a keener and more enthusiastic amateur sailor than I have ever encountered. You are very experienced? I asked as we boarded and stowed the luggage away. I used to be a clerk, but the lure of the waves took me by the throat and never let go. He lunged for me as he demonstrated, with one hand around my neck. Now this is all I do, never step foot on dry land. Sea legs are my only legs. I looked at his eyes as he spoke and saw, even then, the flicker of madness. Then he threw the switch on the engine and we were hurled across the water, literally hurled, as though standing aboard a spinning discus as it leaves the athlete's hand. Oh dear. Let's converse. Greetings, Captain Sedlov. Hold on tight now. Let's ask about Tehran to Baku. Tehran to Kabul? On the subject of trains, I've heard I've met a man who used to work aboard the Madras mail from Bombay to Madras. Kabul to Harar? Probably, but you can obtain tea sets in Herat worth a huge amount in Karachi. Kabul to Hayy? I don't know, but listen, I have heard that the markets are open to traders of all faiths and creeds. Dominoes? Most generous. Let's ask about Tehran, because that's our final destination. Persia's Bandar Abbas? Indeed, you can get to Bandar Abbas from Tehran aboard the Little Beetle. Bandar Abbas to, I don't know, Dubai? Absolutely. It's a very tiring one. This is all taking us really far south, guys. We're wasting a lot of time going like north, south, east. We really just want to go like this way. However, Russia is proving a problem. The hydrofoil's wild motion did not slow. I put my trust in Monsieur Sedlov as best as I could, following Monsieur Fogg's placid example, and we waited out a most grueling day. It's a suspension, Sedlov admitted finally. I think it's a little loose. Oh no, Fogg! We'll tend him. Oh, we can converse again. I'm at your service, Monsieur Fogg. Passport? Dominoes? That would be most entertaining. Chart and blanket? Ah, that is somewhat better. Wool shirts? Thank you, Passport. That will make me very comfortable. Very good! Excellent! We took care of him. By the second day, the broken suspension was all I could think about. None of us had enjoyed any sleep, and while Alexander kept his spirits alive with vodka-laced coffee, myself and Monsieur were at our wits' end. I tried to sleep, but obviously could not. After several hours, we came with sight of Baku. We raised a ragged chair, as though we had survived a shipwreck. We had put into land to rest out the night. Converse? Greetings, Captain Sedlov. Hold on tight now. Let's talk about Tehran to Herat. Oh no. Let's go. Oh no. Libere. Delhi. From Lahore to Delhi, but its journey is a tiring one. Where's this going? Uh-oh, fog! Fog! Converse? What is your wish, Master? Passport, there you are. Dominoes? Worthwhile pursuit. Tartan blanket? Wool shirts? Very good. So we're probably going to have to stay the night. After 6 hours of torture aboard the dreadful, there are 5 hours more, followed by 5 hours more, by the end of which I think there were parts of my body that had seen no blood flow all day. Finally, Captain Sublov sighted land. Tehran, he declared. Do not worry, my friends. You'll find it a most comfortable place to be. I am glad to hear it, I answered. Sublov nodded. I am not convinced he really understood English at all. I fancy he spoke it like a parrot. We disembarked, and he held out his hand for a tip. I pretended not to understand him. But Fogg could not maintain such a deception. Thankfully, Monsieur Fogg also carried no money, so he merely shook the outstretched hand instead. Honor satisfied, we staggered away into town. Whoops, not making friends. Alright guys, we are in Tehran. We can go to the market. Several of our items might sell well here, he said. We're kind of going into like a warm place. Let's sell that. Let's sell that. This hat will sell for $340. Part of the valeting set. Let's put this wallet over here. In Kabul. Oh, okay. Let's plan. We kind of want to go to Merv, Herat, Kabul. Let's go here. Let's get a hotel. Tehran. Tehran was a city of invention and artifice wrapped around ancient grandeur. Bandor airships floated between the minutes. Bandor airships floated between the minarets of mosques and church spires, glowing golden in the gaslight. I sought out engineers and found them in the cafes drinking heavily sweetened coffee and racing their inventions across the tabletop. I spoke to the metal forgers. An older woman whose muscular arms bulged under her chador leaned closer. The other artificers call us mere blacksmiths, she said, waving her burn-spotted hands. But could they make their wondrous devices if we didn't first hammer out their copper sheets and spin their wires? It is fine work, I remarked. The finest, a middle-aged fellow by the name of Rafik remarked. In other cultures, a copper lily may be enough for an artificer to complete their education. But we all apprentice to other guilds and craftsmen. To truly make automata, we must be jewelers, architects, shipwrights, cobblers, doctors, dancers. But then you must learn endlessly. Rafik smiled. Is that not what human culture is? Is that not what Tehran is? Endless learning poured into buildings and gardens and inventions. I swallowed. Are you sure you're not a poet? And I am a dancer too, Rafik winked, and we clicked our coffee glasses together. Someone further in called out, to the Sararara, and we all raised our cups, and some wag added, May he live forever under the watchful eye of the Prime Minister, and everyone laughed. That is my abiding memory of Tehran, a room full of men and women in the hazy light. A place where people could be both right and humane, all at the same time. A rare thing in this world of ours, it is a city, I'm sure, that will stand forever. My relationships with Fogg have improved! Explore! Let us find a way out of here today. To say that the capital of the Persian Empire is modern would be to deny the unparalleled glory of its ancient monuments and palaces. The Qajar Shahs ruled over an empire almost constantly at war. But the recent alliance with the Ottoman Sublime Porte had allowed the city to prosper despite of border disputes with Russia and British India. The city itself is a garden of culture and art protected from the skirmishes along its border. I sat in the cafes with poets as they dueled with each other's words, competing for patronage. We didn't find a new route, guys. It departs tomorrow at 2 p.m. The partial Englishman's wardrobe. Let's do this, and let's go. Let's get going. Alright guys, we're on our way to Kamar Taj? I thought we were going to Habura. I was sorry to be leaving Tehran, a place of true possibility. Still, Kamar Taj left us no doubt that we were leaving, its engines fired, and we rocketed away along the rails. Oh, this must be the name of the train. Let us converse. Greetings, Monsieur Abadjian. Ah, the unfortunate passport. Good day. What? How am I unfortunate? Heret to Kabul. Heret to... You mentioned the trains. I've been told that my child is sweet used to work aboard the Salt Lake and San Pedro Railroad from San Pedro to Salt Lake City. Kabul to Agra. You mentioned carriages. I've been told one can travel from Panama City to Acapulco, but the journey is a tiring one. Agra, Acapulco. They'll pay well for oil paints. Yes? Ha! You must have confidence in yourself, passport. That is what I like. Acapulco to the Patrician Islands? Batavia. Panama City? They say that Panama is under Haitian influence these days. Ooh. San Pedro to Las Vegas, Salt Lake City. Okay. And then Panama City. Oh, it's a land journey. Acapulco. Okay, okay. One of the Armenian porters nudged his Pashtun friend and muttered something uncomplimentary as he watched me struggle to load our things into the luggage car. I focused upon my task, but they continued to stare at me in discourteous fascination. You look very strange for a servant, said the Armenian fellow, whose name turned out to be Abadjian. I looked the man level in the eye. That could be a mistake. Well, I am a strange sort of servant. I am perfectly à la mode. Let's pick that one, I don't know. I told them in aggravated tones, pulling my cuff straights. They're all wearing this in Paris this year. They only laughed pityingly in response. Monsieur Abadjian tucked a purple lamb's wool pashmina around my neck. Perhaps this will help, he said rather hopelessly. I stroked the soft fabric. As I returned to my compartment, Monsieur Fogg made no comment, distracted by the whistles and shout which marked our departure from Tehran. Why should we fetch a good price in Bangalore? Should we decide to sell it? Let's see if we even make it to Bangalore. I want to go from here. Let's fold... I awoke to the gentle rumble of the train and dressed quickly, deciding to wind my scarf around my neck in dashing style. Monsieur Abadjian was entirely correct in his sartorial assessment. The color suited my complexion very well. Monsieur Fogg took one look at me and raised an eyebrow. Very vibrant, he remarked. Would you like it, monsieur? I asked, holding the pashmina out to him. Monsieur Fogg hesitated a moment, looking at my outstretched hand, and then shook his head. I do not like to depart from my customary sober shades, he said firmly. I nodded, resigned. And, unsurprised by his stiff refusal, my master was, after all, a man of inflexible habit. We sat in prickling silence until the train pulled into Heret, on the border of the Persian Empire, in the front of the British colonial lands. I really want to go north to Merv. Merv. Oh, let's go to the market. Hurrat! Hurrat! I clicked it. He's very tired. We gotta watch out. If he gets too tired, he won't be able to... This has to be sold in Kabul. Valuable here and in Calcutta. Let's sell that. This one seems to sell high. Let's sell that. 20... We want to sell this in Merv. Which is why we want to go to Merv. Want to go to Merv. Oh, here's our Pashmina scarf. Worth 2,400 in Bangalore. Stetson hat. Valuable in Cambours, Waltier, and something. If we could get this and also make it to Kabul. Because this could go to Kabul too. And then we might as well fill it. We might as well get what we can. This is maybe a mistake, guys. We have 3 bags. What could go wrong? Okay, let's... Hotel, because we don't have a choice. We'll pass the night here. We stayed in a hotel in the shadow of the towering citadel built on a spur of rock like Noah's Ark beach far above the sea. It dominated the skyline, a symbol of Durranian authority in a city that had once been the capital of the Persian Empire. As night fell, I was quite sure I saw a rocket fire from the walls and up into the skies, but what it meant, I do not know. Let's explore. I had the good fortune to encounter the Toymaker, one of the most famous artificers in the modern world. I looked at the man himself, an unassuming gentleman in his 70s, tall and spare. His arms were spotted with burn scars and his fingers calloused, but his large, dark eyes were lambent with intelligence. Greetings. Put a lot of unnecessary care. Greetings, Toymaker. Welcome. I think you are new to Hurrat. What makes you say that? Indeed, I am on a journey around the world. His hand closed into a fist. What for, eh? What for? For my master, I told him. I once traveled the world, he said softly, but now I cannot leave the borders of Persia, or I would be arrested. But you are a Toymaker, I declared. A simple Toymaker, he agreed, with dark bitterness. I once broke faith with the Artificers Guild, he said. I made destructive weapons of war to defend my Durranian masters against the British Army's invasion in the Kush. Now, as you see, I make toys. His manner was so open and direct that I wondered if he still plied his trays, watched his eyes and saw a deep regret for ills that could never be undone. We are all pawns of the players of the great game, he remarked. We can win, but only if we remove ourselves from the board. And if others do not remove themselves? I asked, sensing something sinister in his words. He smiled a tired, toothy smile. I speak only for myself. I swore my hands would only make innocent creations. And so you see me now, a Toymaker. And if war comes again? I asked. I am a Toymaker. I am the Toymaker, he said firmly, his jaw hardening. That is all I am, and there is nothing else to know. I saw some rocket fire from the citadel last night, I said. The Toymaker smiled, a sudden youthful smile. Most people believe the next war will be fought in the air, airships lining up nicely to broadside one another. Ridiculous, of course. No one who has flown on an airship thinks that wars are about vantage and maneuverability. So what was the rocket? A mere firework, nothing more, he said too quickly, and he smiled again, and I saw his proprietary pride and shivered at the thought of the destruction his firework might be capable of. So the Toymaker is merely another lie, I said, shaking my head. He raised his hands, his strange sort of sadness in his eyes. I have always been the Toymaker, young man. Perhaps when you grow older, you will understand. We are none of us merely one thing. I asked him for assistance on our journey. He laughed and shook his head. How could I help? Anything you know might help us. I know many things, young man. It would take a lifetime to tell you a fraction of them. He laughed painfully. You should head to Delhi. Sarkar lives there. They say he has built himself a new airship, even faster than the ones she made for the Raj. There was a sting in his voice at the mention of his name. You resent her for something. Amula Savarkar aided her masters and is celebrated. I aided mine, and now my tale is told as a warning to young artificers. I'm a morality tale, and she is a hero. She worked for the stronger power. The British Empire's power wanes, and the Persian alliance with the Ottoman makes us even stronger, he said in the manner of a schoolteacher. Mark my words, young man. I took my leave from the toy maker, wondering if I had been too harsh towards an old man full of regrets. Do all men deserve contentment? Perhaps. Perhaps I do not know. I really want to go to Merv. Arrives tomorrow. Departs at 12 noon. Cool. The partial Englishman's wardrobe. Departs at noon. Let's go. Hire more space. Let's go. We're gonna go to Kabul because I have stuff to sell there. I really want to go to Merv. We boarded the train route since arriving at Tehran. Let's tend to Mr. Fogg. We had our papers inspected by a Persian customs officer with a pair of magnificent extending spectacles made of polished brass and engraved with Farsi script along the arms. He inspected our documents while turning a small lever behind his ear. A pair of smoked glass lenses slipped over the clear ones, and he inspected our documents once more. You are widely traveled, he remarked. We are traveling around the world, I blurted, and could nearly hear my master refrain from rolling his eyes. Oh well, it is none of my business, the official remarked philosophically. Your papers are in order. Good luck with your travels. We repeated much the same experience with the British customs officials a few hours later, and so we arrived in Kabul, thoroughly inspected and officially stamped. Oh my gosh, guys, I forgot to start the timer. At least I think I did. We're gonna have to hotel. We'll pass the night here. Why does this not work? As we explored the city, we were rather unceremoniously seized by a score of British infantry and marched along the walls of Kabul, up the mountain ridge into the fortress of Bala Hissar. Monsieur Fogg protested our treatment, and I joined my voice to his, though my outraged tones rather outmatched his calm ones. We were presented to a small, bespectacled gentleman in a palatial office which looked rather more like a court, despite the piles of books and surveyor's equipment littering the floor. He gave us a glance over his spectacle rims. I am Mr. Smith, second assistant political officer to the British mission here. I do not have the pleasure of your acquaintance. I glanced at my master, who straightened his cuffs, but otherwise looked as though he might have been out for a mid-morning stroll and had wandered by merest happenstance into the Afghan palace fort. I'm Mr. Phineas Fogg. I'm gonna go for another 10 minutes, guys. I am Mr. Phineas Fogg, and this is my valet, Passport. I am a subject of Her Majesty and passing through Kabul with no small urgency. Urgency? The political officer's eyes flashed behind his lenses. Pray, expand a little upon the nature of this urgency, Mr. Fogg. He had the measure of my cool-eyed master. That much was certain. Monsieur Fogg was not used to being on the other side of the interrogation table, and I watched Monsieur Smith closely as Monsieur Fogg explained his wager and our resultant breakneck trip around the world. I could see Smith growing more astonished with each word. Finally, he took off his glasses and tapped them on the table. Were you Russian or Persian spies, he said amusingly, you would have a more plausible story. I could not, in all honesty, disagree. My master's ongoing willingness to risk life, limb, and valet for a bet seemed to me the height of nonsense. I fear I did not keep my thoughts from my face either, as I saw Monsieur Fogg's cold glance in my direction. Monsieur Smith's eyebrow raised in an eerie mirroring of my master's expression, and then he cleared his throat. A friend of mine is traveling to Omsk. I consider it a great favor if you accompanied her. Omsk is quite far, he hedged. Yes, but at Omsk you can catch the Trans-Siberian Express all the way to Ursus, or change at Kamirska for Beijing, he explained. Think on it. He dismissed us, and returned his papers with a second glance. Oh, Fogg doesn't like me as much anymore. Where did we go? What's happening? New routes discovered! Depart. I really want to explore. This might hurt us, but I want to explore. I spent a few hours in exploration. Market. We want to sell the stuff that's valuable here. And we're not going to Merv. I might as well give up on that. Oh, this is worth a lot of money in here in Bangalore. Okay, what else was valuable here? Valuable here and in Beijing. Valuable in Ursus and Lahore and Hong Kong. Okay, well, let's fill up again. Benares. Who knows? Maybe we'll end up somewhere useful. Alright, so let's go plan. This one costs 190. He wants us to go this way to Omsk. So we'll take the airship tomorrow at 1 p.m. So let's hotel. We'll pass the night here. Of course we will. With the last light of the evening, I spent a few hours... Oh no! And came across a tired-looking English gentleman and his valet begging on the side of the road. I inquired into the misfortune and learned they had been on a journey around the world and fallen foul of heavy transport bribes. My heart went out to them, of course, and I gave them... What? Oh my gosh. To get them back on their feet. Then I tipped my hat and moved away. Shoot, guys! Don't talk to strangers! They just want your money! We're going back towards Russia! Okay, go. This is where that dude wanted us. We met a friend of Monsieur Smith, Her Majesty's second assistant political officer in Kabul at the airship dock. She was wearing a daring red dress, cut in the Italian style, draped over with a mink coat lined in satin. I greeted her with a bow, and she swept her eyes over Monsieur Fogg and myself before inclining her head. Where did Smith dig you two up? She asked rhetorically, in the plummy tones of an English aristocrat. Never mind, I'm Lady Sybil. With that, she swept away, leaving me to manage both our bags and her own assortment of traveling cases. We barely had time to settle into our cabin. I barely had time to join her at the railing before the little Schutzland airship jolted into the air, further evidence of the German Empire's heavy investment in Afghanistan's infrastructure. Let's tend to converse. Greetings, my lady. Passport, why yes? Let's talk about Omsk to Ursus. Speaking of trains, I understand my brother helped to build the Houston and Texas Railroad from Cheyenne to Houston. Ursus to Beijing? I don't know, but some buyers will pay well for tobacco from Beijing. Let's talk about Pang Sao Pass. You have to ask my secretary. From here is via Calcutta. Oh, Cheyenne to Dallas to Houston. Now we're going back up to Russia. Oh my gosh, guys. I attended my master. Gotta get him up, guys. If his health gets too low, you can't go on certain areas of the journey. Okay, the first day's travel was quite enough, drifting idly across the mountaintops. I attended my master, ignoring the needs of Lady Sybil in favor of a starched collar, a trim mustache, and a cup of tea at just the right temperature. Night fell and stars lit up the sky. Lady Sybil joined me in looking at them, pointing up at one. The dolphin, she remarked. It's the only constellation I know. Surely you know the Great Bear, I replied, tracing its form with a finger. She shook head. No, I don't, she replied, but I am sure I will get to know the bear intimately soon enough. With that cryptic remark, she left me. Look this is where we went south. Oh my gosh, guys, we wasted so much time. We were boarded by a half-dozen Imperial Russian customs inspectors a few hundred miles into the airspace. Lady Sybil came to me as they checked the pilot's papers. Someone tipped them off. They were watching for me. She searched my face. But you'll help me, won't you? Tell them I have traveled with you from London. Why should I lie for you? Because Smith trusted you. I am in Her Majesty's service, and my mission is vital. Please. What if you are compromised? I wondered. My master cannot languish in Tsar's jail. He has important business. Then tell him I bribed you, seduced you, threatened you, disavow me if I am caught. That's proper procedure. Anyway, Lady Sybil nodded. I'll agree with whatever you come up with. I opened it. Without delay, Lady Sybil shot me a last pleading look before the customs inspector brought in Monsieur Fogg and began their interrogation through a translator. Finally, the question came. Do you know this woman? I stepped forward. Before Monsieur Fogg could open his mouth and said, She is our companion, I said boldly. We have traveled together from London in pursuit of my master's wager. The officials gave Lady Sybil a bit of a leer, drawing their own sordid conclusions about her position in our company. I put my one arm around the lady to further their suspicions, and at that they took a decisions to my character, and hence the ladies, and gave the matter up. They completed their search of the hold and cabins and disembarked by nightfall. We had lost a day, but nothing more serious. Let's take care of Fogg. Oh dear. Right, we delivered the spy. Yesterday's events loosened both Lady Sybil's tongue and her thickly painted facade. I am not really a titled lady, she confessed over lunch, in an altogether more common accent. Grew up in Whitechapel, I did. Why Lady Sybil, then? James, that is Smith, invented her. Her eyes lit up at the mention of his name, and I saw how things lay between them, from her side at least. You care for him, I said, as gently as I could. She took a deep breath. My dad was a coachmaker till the Artificers' Guild put him out of business. I took to pickpocketing for Mom and Mam and Dad, and one day I picked the wrong pocket. She reached for another leg of chicken and devoured it artlessly. James, that is Smith's pocket. He recruited me instead of turning me in. How old were you? 11. You've been a spy for 15 years, give or take, I exclaimed, forgetting the impropriety of remarking upon a lady's age. I'm going to be a countess now, that's my mission. Lady Sybil laughed at my expression. One of the Tsar's close confidants is looking for a wife, and James has found him Lady Sybil. You'd marry for your mission? It's my duty, she said without inflection. I would be an asset of enormous value to the crown. To James, something in my face must have given me away, for Lady Sybil's expression softened. Oh, passport, you're not a knob. I didn't peg you for a romantic. I'm a Frenchman, I said automatically, though my voice lacked the proper archness. We are born romantics. I could think of nothing else to do but wish her luck. She took her leave as we tethered the ship at Omsk, and then suggested that we might stop by the governor's house to tell him of our adventures. I suppose she is in one piece still. I imagine her sometimes as a pickpocket countess spying for the crown. I wonder whether she still thinks of the bespectacled second assistant political officer in Kabul. I do not ever think about her condemned to a czarist jail. Good gracious, this is rather more strenuous than I anticipated. Of course it is! Let's go to the market. Omsk! Can I sell anything here? Oh my gosh, we didn't even go near Bangalore. Valuable here and in Lahore. Alright guys, let's get this done. I will sell this stuff and then we will move on. Get this fur coat. Ooh, no wait! This could be useful. What's this? Pyongyang, Calcutta. We're not going to go there, I don't think. Let's get that. And we'll get this. What's this? I don't think we can take everything with us. Fur-lined boots will be useful. I don't think we're going near Bangalore. So we'll get the iron. Alright. See, we need the boat tables. Da-da-da-da! We can cross the Atlantic! Ponta Delgabra. I couldn't read it fast enough. Driving straight over Canada. This one goes right over to London. Ooh! Belém. Okay, okay. Interesting. To Dakar. Depart. We want to go to... Let's go this way. Hire extra space. Let's go. I'm gonna try and tend to fog on this journey. Okay, we boarded the Trans-Siberian Express and settled in for our journey. A fresh shirt, superb. Better be. The lines are thick here, and other trains pass ours frequently. Some are filled with settlers and others with soldiers, packed into 5th and 6th class. Cars so closely that I wonder if they can even breathe. I saw a darker train go past, metal cars with iron gratings that seemed to cast shadows as it moved. It was a prison train bound for nowhere. The criminals aboard were simply carried backwards and forwards across the mountains, always moving, never stopping. I could not watch their faces. Their eyes spoke of endless wastes and never-ending movement. Travel is good for the soul, I think, but, like all things, in moderation only. Anyways, guys, I'm going to stop this part right there. I hope you've liked this part of 80 Days. I'm sorry if it was a little bit long. I did forget to start my timer, as always. But please take care, stay happy, and I will see you all in the next part. Like, comment, subscribe. I love you all. Bye-bye.